president also sparking confusion and global backlash with his comments about Sweden and what he said had happened, while U.S. officials, including the vice president, were trying to reassure Europe about America's commitment. So let's go to our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, in London this morning. Terry, good morning.
Good morning, David. This morning, European leaders, they're kind of baffled by President Donald Trump, and not just by his off-the-cuff remarks about Sweden that you mentioned, but also, and more important, by his confusing and contradictory
My first
foreign
donation
policy.
bomber. According to top comment, China stole these technology, sailing and dance game.
So far.
This was the moment that triggered the latest flap. President Trump this weekend riffing on terror in Europe, alluding to some kind of incident in Sweden and sparking considerable confusion.
You look at what's happening in Germany. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible.
The problem, there was no incident in Sweden, and the Swedes were not happy with the insinuation that their generous refugee policy had resulted in a terror attack. The Swedish government promptly asking the State Department for clarification. And the former Swedish Prime Minister tweeting, "Sweden? Terror attack? What has he been smoking?" Later, President Trump took to Twitter explaining that his statement was in reference to a story that was broadcast on Fox News concerning immigrants in Sweden.
Is Fox bad, according to Trump, or I forget which one is the bad one? Yes.
That story didn't mention a terror attack. There haven't been any in Sweden in more than 5 years. All this as Vice President Pence, also in the international spotlight, taking his first overseas trip, meeting world leaders like Angela Merkel, and extending a diplomatic olive branch at the Munich Security Conference.
On behalf of President Trump, I bring you this assurance. The United States of America strongly supports NATO and will be unwavering in our commitment to this transatlantic alliance.
This morning in Brussels, the vice president continued the charm offensive, saying President Trump wants strong relations with the EU. But U.S. allies here remain rattled. They remember President Trump calling NATO obsolete, cozying up to Vladimir Putin, even as Russia threatens Europe. And right now, they basically see the American president as erratic. David?
All right, plenty to jump into on this President's Day.
Somewhat, maybe, potentially.